I'm live. Hi, I'm Judy Greer. I am live. I want to introduce you to my friend Michelle because today is Trigeminal Neuralgia Awareness Day. And unfortunately, she has this disease. And so we are going to talk to her about what it is because I don't know. I know now, but I didn't before. So I'm inviting. It didn't work. Hi, honey.
I haven't seen you, it's been too long.
It's been so long. So for everyone who's watching, which I hope is a shit ton of people, this is Michelle, and she and I met my favorite way to ever meet anyone, which is walking our dogs.
Yeah, yeah,
We met I probably like 18 years ago, maybe,
yeah.
or
It's been
something
a
like
long
that.
time.
Yeah. So we met a really long time ago. You had Jack and I had Buckley, and
Hmm.
they're playing together
Yeah,
and talking at the
in a
same
better place.
Yes, in a better place. But so anyway, we're not here for a happy occasion, but I am always happy to teach people about something that they don't know about, and happy to spread the word about this. So I practiced pronouncing it this
Thank you.
morning. I looked it up on YouTube and I learned how to say trigeminal neuralgia.
Yes.
So why don't you why don't you start and tell people what it is and tell your story a little bit.
Well, I had a brain tumor.
Mm-hmm.
I had brain surgery, and right after, I felt that something wasn't right. Um, so I ended up going to, now I'm emailing my neurosurgeons. They're telling me everything I'm feeling is normal. But I felt something was off. So I saw a local neurologist who actually diagnosed me with trigeminal neuralgia. My neurosurgeons didn't officially diagnose me with trigeminal neuralgia anesthesia dolorosa until a year and a half later. They,
So when you say, can I ask questions?
of
I'm
course,
sorry.
yeah,
So when you say, so this is your original neurosurgeons,
right.
didn't they thought you didn't really know what you were talking about, so you reached out to a different one, which
I,
happens to people all the time because apparently we don't know our own bodies and we don't know how we're supposed to feel.
right. So that's exactly what happened. They did not, they just kept my original team. I've since transferred my care to a different hospital in New York City, but my original team said everything I was feeling was normal.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I really went kind of, I sent them a letter, an email, and I'm like, this is not normal. Um,
So I'm going to interrupt you again. What were you
yeah.
feeling that you felt was abnormal?
Um, well, I will get to that one. Like,
Okay.
I'll totally get all
Okay.
that. And so yeah, so I finally put my foot down with my original team, and they basically were the head. It was the head neurosurgeon and the head oto surgeon at one of the major hospitals in New York. So they didn't want to accept that they
Mm-hmm.
made a mistake and damaged my fifth cranial nerve and permanently damaged it so that I will have to live in pain for the rest of my life. So that's why they basically put off acknowledging it,
Mm-hmm.
or even saying that I had it. But so that's how I was diagnosed. And most people aren't diagnosed as quickly as I was because a lot of doctors basically, they've never even heard of the condition. most of them will never treat a patient with TN in their entire careers. My one neurosurgeon who I spoke to over the phone told me that I was only the second patient in their 30-year career that had this outcome.
30 years.
30 years, second time. And so most doctors don't know how to diagnose it. So a lot of patients and a lot of people in the TN community go years with all of this pain, not knowing. They even have teeth pulled. They go to extremes because they don't know how to stop the pain. So so getting to your question about what it feels like, it is it's a neuropathic pain involving the fifth cranial nerve. I had no idea what cranial nerves were until this happened to me. You just wake up, you talk, you walk, you function. You don't think, oh, what are my cranial nerves going to do today? So right. You just do, you're just going on with your day. So the fifth cranial nerve is the biggest cranial nerve, and it comes out right around close to your ear, and it has three branches, V1, V2, and V3. My trigeminal neuralgia involves all three zones. What that means is, and because I have TN1, TN2, and anesthesia dolorosa, that means that I cannot feel the left side of my face at all, including my teeth and my tongue, and I'm constantly in pain. So the pain varies. Like right now, I am feeling an intense tightness right here, like a pulling and tingling. Thankfully, this is a tolerable pain that I'm feeling right now.
The level right now, when I was reading about it, it said that sort of like every day is different.
Yeah, you wake up and you're just like, what type of pain will I have today? Because the pain, there are some days the pain is so extreme that you can't talk, you can't move, you just have to lay in your bed, lights off, no TV, no talking, just complete silence. It's so bad that you can't even cry, you can't scream. The pain that the community feels ranges in constantly varies and also varies in intensity, but the pain is feeling like you're being electrocuted. It feels like somebody's taking a knife or thousands of pins and stabbing you in the face.
I'm nodding my head, but I honestly, I can't even imagine.
It's horrific. It feels like there's like the tingling and the burning, and it feels like your muscles sometimes are either constricting or being pulled off of your face. When it affects the eye, it feels like your eye is being pushed out of its socket. When it involves the teeth, the pain, it feels like your teeth are cracking and your teeth are being electrocuted, and even to the point where some of your teeth feel like they're going to fall out. So
and this is why people have had teeth pulled, because they thought that they had some issues with their teeth, with having bad dental work or something, but it wasn't that.
Right. It wasn't. Like I said, most TN patients go years undiagnosed, go from doctor to doctor, and because it's rare,
Mm-hmm.
and doctors are unfamiliar with it, most of them, it's like when they finally get a doctor that acknowledges their diagnosis,
Uh-huh.
in one way they're relieved because they're validated. They feel like everything that they've been telling doctors has been
Right.
true. But then again, they also at the same time are like, oh my God,
So that's it? This is it?
I have this condition, and it's like, where do we go next?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of patients, the first doctors that, once you get diagnosed, most doctors will put you on an anticonvulsant, like Lyrica, to try to help with the nerve pain.
Is that something that people with epilepsy would take?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then also because of the muscles, the sensations with your facial muscles, they will put you on muscle relaxers. I'm on something called baclofen. And then they will also put you on antidepressants. It's they go through whatever, the whole list of go-tos to see if anything helps. I don't really, because my nerve was damaged, I don't really know if any of the meds that I'm on are truly helping. But I continue to take them because my doctors are hoping that at least they're helping a little bit.
Yeah.
But
are there specialists for TN?
You normally start with the neurologist, and then that neurologist will, if they're familiar with MRIs, they will request a Fiesta MRI, which will actually show that nerve, the fifth cranial nerve. So let me just say that my TN was caused by damage to the nerve. Other TN patients, they have no idea why they have it.
You can get TN without having an operation or something go wrong during a procedure.
Correct. There are other patients with TN who have it because the fifth cranial nerve will compress on an artery. So every time the blood pumps through the artery, it's hitting the nerve. So it's sending a pain signal to your face that it's in pain when, actually it isn't. So there's actually a surgery for that is called microvascular decompression, where they go in and they actually take like a little Teflon sponge and put it between the nerve and the artery so that they don't touch each other. So that when the blood pumps through the artery, there's like a sponge preventing it from touching.
Like keeping it from like cartilage, basically. Something. I'm clearly not a doctor, but
so, and then other patients just have no idea why it started. I will say that you can some TM patients have gotten it from dental work. That is one of the things that can happen to you during dental procedures. So a lot of dentists are familiar with it because their work can cause TN. So that should always be in the back of everyone's mind when they go to the dentist, is to ask, what are the risks of TN with this procedure? So I kind of go off track a little bit because of my brain. So bring me back to focus here.
Well, I was gonna ask you about painkillers and if those have any effect on this. And then of course people run the risk of becoming addicted to painkillers because of this, I would imagine.
Opioids, a lot of doctors shy away from prescribing opioids, which is tragic, because when you have patients, this trigeminal neuralgia is literally known as the suicide disease.
Someone wrote that underneath the chat.
Yeah. So when you have a patient who is suffering, you know, to, why deny them a prescription that might work, like just a trial run, and to see if it helps that patient, versus not prescribing it at all. And what if it would have helped? So
Right.
I was lucky enough that my neurologist, because a lot of neurosurgeons and a lot of neurologists say that opioids do not help pain, nerve pain. Well, I can attest to my own, where when I'm in severe pain, I do take an opioid, and it makes it so it's, instead of level 20, it might go down to level 15 pain, where I can at least feel a little relief. I don't take them every day, but I am so grateful to her because she offered, she's like, I can't see you in pain, and I just can't. We have to try this. And she's like, I've only prescribed it to 2 other patients, but
that seems crazy to me, but
yeah, well, she's not a pain management doctor, and even my pain management doctor didn't even ask me if I wanted to try that. But yeah.
So that's something you really have to advocate for yourself.
Yeah, I would ask if, if you're not on an opioid, I would ask your doctor, if you can at least do a trial run to see if it does help. Like I said, I don't take it every day. I'm aware of the fact that it can become addictive. So I try to just function without it. But there are days that there's just no way around it. I just have to, I have to take it.
What is your day to day like? So you never really know what to expect when you wake up in the morning. Are you able to sleep?
The funny thing is that is, for me, the best time, because when I'm sleeping, I don't have any pain. So I joke around. I'm like, this is just me being, I'm like, I'm gonna really enjoy, like, I don't want to die anytime soon, but I really like sleeping. So I'm really gonna enjoy it, because it's just like a long sleep, and it's gonna be super cool. And so I always joke around like that. But I don't have any pain when I'm sleeping. And when I wake up, there's like a moment of, I still have that lack of pain. I can feel the numbness and a little bit of the pulling, but I don't feel any of the sensations. And I'm like, it's to the point where I kind of don't even want to move.
Right.
Because I don't know what is going to set it off. Because there are a lot of people with TN that have triggers, like if they chew, if something touches their face, if there's different triggers for TN patients. I don't have that. I just have the constant pain, and then I don't know when the electrocution is going to happen. I can go a day without being electrocuted. I can go you know, there are certain sensations that I have more often than others. But the first few minutes of when I wake up, it's like, oh goodness, okay, it's calm. It's calm.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a good day. And
Mm-hmm.
then I just don't know what's gonna happen. In an hour from I could be in severe pain, but that might only last like an hour and I can go back to tolerable. It is just a roller coaster. You know, one with TN just never knows what severity, what pain sensation they're going to feel on any given day. So it's hard to make plans with your friends. It's hard to make plans with family. Your quality of life is greatly diminished by this. I tend to isolate a lot more now because of it.
Sure.
It affects my entire life. You know, not only physically but emotionally and mentally. You wonder, you know, like if you don't stay in the moment and you let your mind wander about the future, that's where you can't think about it at all when you have this, because you're like, what if it gets worse? So you've got to stay in the moment, especially with this. I would suggest that for actually anyone, just to stay in the moment and be present. But I'm off track again.
That's okay. What other types? So you talked about some of the medications that you take. Are you able to work?
I do work from home, so I'm blessed with that. I am currently out on leave though, because of some other health issues, which came up in August. But if I had to go to an office on a day-to-day basis, I wouldn't be able to, because there's just no way.
A woman was writing down here in the chat that she was in a meeting and she just got such an intense pain. She started crying in a meeting. And I can imagine like how scary that would be.
Yeah, because it's so unpredictable.
Right.
So like I said, I'm fortunate enough to work from home, but a lot of the community have to go on permanent medical disability. You know, there's just no other option.
Besides your doctors in the beginning, did you have a problem with people believing you? Was that an issue ever?
No, because no, because it was, yeah.
And you've surrounded yourself with really good people.
Yeah,
who love you.
it was, and it was shown clearly on my MRI. You can see the nerve and the damage. So, and I would be texting with my friends and emailing with them. And then I'm like, I'm feeling this and I'm feeling that, and my parents. And, you know, it's, for me, being the person with it, it's scary enough, but I feel like my friends and my family, they want to help me.
Good.
You know, but there's no, besides support, there's nothing really they can do. You know, it's like they want to take this away and they want to, they just, you know, want to, you know, snap their fingers and help me, but, you know, they can't.
Right. There's nothing they can do.
So,
are you in a support group? Is there any, have you found a community with other people suffering from TN that you get support from, or you offer support to?
The online community has been very supportive. even though I was diagnosed in 2017, I didn't really start becoming active in the community until about maybe a year ago. I didn't even know there was like people. I didn't realize that people with TN had been on Instagram and, you know, talking and just, you know, sharing,
Right.
you know, what they're going through, so you don't feel so alone.
Yeah.
So that was nice to find all of those people and connect. And I definitely
sometimes social media can do a lot of great things.
yeah, like this, like
yeah,
us
for as
connecting.
much as I'm worried about it and complain about it, I would imagine just going on a search on Instagram, you probably found a lot of people.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge help to have that community of support, because we support each other. We offer like, hey, I've tried this, you know, I don't know if this will work for you, but like the other day, somebody in the community was having an issue with her eye, and I said, you should see a neuro-ophthalmologist. And she's like, I didn't even know that existed. I'm like, yeah, they do. And she went and she was able to be seen, and there was something wrong with her eye. So we have that back and forth. So it's nice to have that support, and that's, like you said, one good thing about social media, you know.
Yeah.
Being able to find groups of people with similar conditions, even if they're rare. So yeah, it's very helpful.
And do you feel like there's, I'm assuming the answer is yes, I probably shouldn't even ask this, but like, do you feel like there's so much more research that can be done? Do you feel like you could, like, is there things that you could use that you can't find?
Well, I wish there's a drug, an infusion that I'll be getting in a few months, which I was supposed to be getting in August, but because of the other health concern that popped up, I had to wait. But ketamine infusions, they are showing not only are they showing great signs of helping people with depression who are no longer responding to their antidepressants, but it's showing with people with pain, it's showing that maybe after like TN, after one or a few treatments, their pain either is non-existent or it's to a point of, you know, tolerable. So maybe you could get off the drug. So I'm waiting for that. Unfortunately, it's not covered by insurance. So that's one of the things that I wish the FDA would approve. Things like ketamine infusions for pain patients and depression, so that it can be covered. There are studies being done, but because the community it's not a large community, so they don't put a lot of research into it, because there just aren't that many people with it. I know that I wanted to mention something about there are a few other treatments that I just wanted to mention. In addition to some people aren't, it's not an option for them at all, but there's the MBD that we discussed, and then there is radiation, which I have not had. I'm not a candidate for that. Then there's deep brain stimulation, which they wanted to do on me, which involves another brain surgery, but I'm awake. And they would go through the top of my skull, take wires and go down and test the fifth cranial nerve, and I would be awake and let them know if I still felt pain or not, depending on where the electrodes were. Then if it did help with the pain, they would keep the electrodes in and run the wires down through my neck to a pacemaker above my heart.
Wow.
Is again not covered by insurance. That's basically used for people with Parkinson's. I don't even know if I would go down that route. And there is another procedure that they wanted to try on me called neuromodulation, which involves running wires under my skin, above my eye, through my cheek, and then right below my chin. And the wires would then go down behind my ear to my neck to another pacemaker. And that would like give off so many electric, I don't even know what to call it, but so many per second to try to cut off the pain signals. But the doctors that have tried that have not really had successful outcomes. So it's hard to find a doctor that does it. And because the success rate isn't great, I was like, all right, I'm not even gonna try or go down that route. So so it's there aren't many, there are options, yet there aren't many. And not everyone is a candidate for any of them. And some
and then like you mentioned with insurance, and what if people don't even have insurance and they have this? I mean, I can't even imagine, because I'm hoping your insurance covers the medication that you're already taking.
I actually I do have insurance, thank God. I reached my max out of pocket already, so I can get diagnosed with anything else I want to until January.
Congratulations.
31st. So
okay,
bring it on. I can do whatever I need. You know, if I have a new
got your hands full right now.
Yeah, but I was like, gosh, I reached my max out of pocket early this year. I normally always do,
Michelle.
But I just had to laugh because I'm like, I need to see you. Fine, it's free.
Yeah, great.
No problem. I'm there. So, oh my
does
God,
it hurt?
My dog.
Does it hurt to laugh?
You know,
depends on the day.
Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Right now, the sensation that I'm feeling is, I describe it as when you hit your funny bone or your foot falls asleep, and that sensation, that's what I'm feeling, but it doesn't stop. But sometimes when I laugh, it does cause,
it triggers
other sensations, but thankfully right now, I'm good to go.
I'm glad you're having a better day today. I think that was about the time we were going to talk, but is there anything that you wanted to say? Is there anything else that I missed?
I just want to thank you.
Oh my gosh.
For allowing me to join you on your page and reach your followers and
of course
reach my followers and just raise awareness. And it means the world to me because I'm just one story out of
so many.
thousands. So you know, people would see me and they would think that everything was fine. They would never know that what I was dealing with. So, you know, it's a silent, it disease. It's, you know, it's invisible, if you will, because people don't see the pain like they would with a broken finger.
Sure.
So I just am glad. I hope that I've educated a lot of people about.
So many people are writing, and thank you so much for talking about this. So many people are saying such wonderful things, and it makes me so happy to read that, but also breaks my heart seeing how many people are dealing with this. And I'll be honest, until you told me about this, I did not know this existed. So you definitely raised awareness for me. I just, well, my heart breaks for you. I know you, but for all these people who, you guys are all out there just navigating this together, trying to figure it out and trying to figure out how to manage your day to day. And I hope that more of these types of conversations can be had, and people will maybe leave here and look it up and read about it, and maybe you know someone. I'm not going to listen to that. Anyway, I just I hope that we did it. I hope we raised awareness.
I'm sure we did, and I truly appreciate you, Judy. I truly appreciate the time, and it's great.
I miss seeing you so much in the neighborhood.
Yeah, our little run-ins, and I miss that neighborhood so much. It brings back great memories for me. So yeah,
well, I'm going to hit you up the next time I'm on the East Coast, okay?
Yes, and hopefully after my the ketamine, I'll feel comfortable enough to be in a place that I'd like to fly out to LA. So who knows? I might see you.
I think what might be fun is after you get your ketamine infusion, maybe we could do this again and talk about it if you want. Just reach out and we can do this again, and I'll post about it in my story, and we can talk about it, and we can tell people, you can just tell us all about it.
Perfect. And, I love that.
So we will have a date.
Yes.
Hopefully you'll have miraculous things to tell us, but we'll break it down.
Fingers crossed
for everybody. Yes. And I love you, and I will be praying for you, and God willing, I will be able to save this. I have been unsuccessful at saving Instagram lives, but I think today's going to be my day.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
I will. But we're definitely, let's talk again after you do your ketamine infusion, and give that awesome dog a scratch. What's your dog's name?
Oliver.
Another
a chocolate lab.
Like Jack. Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take care. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. And everyone who's watching, I hope that you learned something. And if you have TM, then I really pray that you can find some peace and find a way to be pain-free, and that your days get better.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.